Hi, I'm Kerrie Penney. On this episode of Secret Heart Broadcasting, Tropical Bird in a Snowstorm with Nina Sudra. Nina's a filmmaker, a friend, a bright light. She also comes from a traditional Indian culture, yet grew up kind of footloose and fancy-free on the prairies. So we'll find out about love for your family, love for your ancestors, love for yourself. We'll also talk about books, filmmaking, and a whole lot more with Nina Sudra on Tropical Bird in a Snowstorm, coming up next on Secret Heart Broadcasting. Welcome to Secret Heart Broadcasting. I'm Kerrie Penney, and today I'm speaking with the fabulous Sonal Nina Sudra. Nina is a writer, director, producer, filmmaker, mom, friend, wife. She's really the whole human creative package. And we first met years ago when she was a college practicum student at the production company that I was then contracting with. Oh, this is a few years ago. And I remember when I first saw Nina, I was heading into the edit suite. And Nina, you were shadowing our friend, the editor and indie film darling, Jason Hohen, who sadly is not with us anymore. And I could tell by looking at Jason that he was just mesmerized by you and your energy. And I remember you then as having this kind of like super sparkle about you when people, at that time were not really enthusiastic. It was a workplace and you just were curious. You were eager to get going on your career. You were sure you wanted to make films. And it was just a delight to meet you. I think right away we had this like connection. How do you remember it? And I couldn't even tell you what project, because I think after that, I needed a production assistant. I was like, who is that? I'm hiring her. And so our story begins. Anyway, I don't know how you remember it, but that's how I remember our meeting.
I think, thank you for that intro. That was
You're
super
so welcome.
You know what? I think that it's kind of a love story, Kerrie.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. Like, because I remember, I totally remember, and I was like, whoa, she is so cool. I remember I don't know, you crushed velvet bells. Yeah, like these.
Oh, yeah. The bell-bottom pants.
I was like, she's awesome. And I think that what happened was we ended up, you guys were able to get me out of my final exams.
Mm-hmm.
College.
Yeah, we had to write a letter saying Nina will be gainfully employed.
Yes, and we need her. So so needed. But that was such a magical time. And I totally remember, I just remember, I felt like there was this instant, this sort of instant connection that we had.
Yeah, I agree. And at that time, which this would be the 90s, I think, there weren't a lot of women in kind of, commercial production, video production, film production roles. And so that was a nice connection. And then just the kind of energy and the youthfulness of you was such a bonus. The idea to see things a different way. Let's try do something a different way. Let's, it just kind of opened up the possibility of, there can be a different way of thinking now. We could try this. Let's use, I don't know, I can't even think of an example. Let's try natural light.
Natural light. That's so, it's so funny, right? Because I never, when you're in it, I never really saw it that way, or I didn't see myself the way that you're describing it. I totally was, I guess, because when you're in it, right, you're like,
yeah.
I do remember being super excited to be in the world, like just the world, and being able to like, yay, and meeting all these really funky, cool people that are outside of the box, and everyone was so welcoming and like kind and fun. And I don't know, I think it was a time when it felt like, that those times in your life when you just feel like every door is open, like you could walk through anything, and like and you're young and you're just like, yay, look what's going to happen.
Excited. And that was really the beginning of your career. I mean, now looking back, you've done a number of independent films. You've produced, directed. I mean, that was the beginning of it all.
That was, and it was amazing. It was incredible. Like, and Kerrie, I totally think of you as my mentor. Like stuff I learned from you was I to this day totally use all of those skills and tools. And I remember your whole thing around like the magic of interview and what goes on, and just this like sort of this alchemy that you end up like. I would watch you doing this, and it would be, we'd be doing corporate videos or like making things for, sometimes they were really intense, right? Like I think we did Hull Homes. Do you
Yeah, we
remember?
did. Yeah, I
And
do.
that was like intense. And
Hmm.
I just remember watching, just observing you direct, and the interviews that you were doing were magic, because suddenly everything disappeared and it's just you and the person that you're talking to, and
Yeah.
just creating that safe environment, that safe space. And I like that has been a pillar for me in all the stuff that I do now. So
Oh, that's lovely to hear. And that was
thank
kind of like the impetus of Secret Heart Broadcasting for me. Now, albeit we are out of the studio, so the in studio series, season one is done. We're doing this kind of digital nomady interaction. So I'm really missing the energy of having the person in the space with me. But as my daughter would say, like, let's try something new. Don't, so here we are trying to create that magic on a digital platform. And I'm so excited that you said yes. I just wanted to go back to, as you were talking, I was thinking about that time when we met and we, signed the letter and got you out of college and you were gainfully employed. And then realizing, I mean, I didn't know very much about you, but I know one of the concerns, you were still living at home and your parents, who were quite conservative, I think your mom was like, Who is this woman you're working with? And what do you mean you're going on the road?" And I, a door opened and I had just never thought about, wow, Nina's come from this background where there are some very specific ways in which a young woman is in the world. And being an independent filmmaker was maybe not one of them. Do you want to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, yeah, this goes back. It's a big can of worms, but
Can't
just
open worms everywhere.
open that huge can of worms. I
Yes.
just wanted to say that, yeah, Kerrie, I mean, I've watched, all the podcasts from last season, and
Mm.
just to say it is really, it's a new shift, right? So it's like,
Mhm.
let's just like, maybe there's like sort of a feeling into the space and feeling into each other's, where we are, even though we're not in the same physical space, we could still be in the same energetic space.
Yeah, we'll be energetic pioneers in film and video.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
On the web. Okay.
In the Matrix.
In the matrix.
Thanks for listening. If you like the show, please tell your friends.